Do 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 boo doo, ba da ba ba dow, ba dum ba ba dum, dee 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 dee, boo doo 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 doo, doo 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 doo, ba dum ba ba ba. It's me, Bill. Welcome back to Neptune's Theater's at-home magic fun. Today, I'm going to teach you some card tricks. So, what you will need is a deck of cards. This one is full of all sorts of different cards. Some of them are right side up, some of them are upside down. We'll get to that in a second. If you have a deck of cards at home, run and grab it. You can pause the video and do that now. The first trick I would like to show you is a choose a card trick. A lot of card tricks are choose a card tricks. We're going to do 2 choose a card tricks and 1 not choose a card trick. So what you would do is you take your deck of cards and you would say to your friend, hey, put your finger on the back of a card or pull one out. And they would pull out this card. Now you don't have to see it. I can look in the camera, so I am seeing it. But what the trick is you put it on the top and then you cut half the cards and you put them underneath so that your friend's card is lost in the middle of the deck. Also, I didn't mention this beforehand, but I have 2 helpers. If I run through the cards here, you can see that ahead of time, I asked the 2 jokers to help me with this card trick. And I've got them right here. I'm going to set them down for a second. Sometimes when you do card tricks, people think it's the top card. Is this one your card? No. You can put that in the middle. Sometimes people think it might be the bottom card. Is this one your card? No. Okay, slide off that one and put it back in the middle. Now with my 2 helpers, the 2 jokers, what I can do is I can put one on the top and one on the bottom of the deck, and I can say, magically, your card is in the middle of the 2 jokers. All the cards are in the middle of the jokers, I know, but if I do this, 1 card and 1 card only is in the middle of the jokers, and that's your card. How do we do it? Here comes the explanation. So this requires what we in the magic business call setup. Secretly, ahead of time, you choose 2 cards that are kind of the same. You could use 2 kings, 2 queens, 2 aces. I'm using the 2 jokers. And then you put them on the top of the deck, and you put 1 card over top. You hide them. And so what you can do is, if you're careful, you can spread them away, and then you get down into the middle of the deck, and it all looks normal. So you say to your friend, here, choose a card, and you push off a big chunk with your thumb, maybe 10 cards or so, and then you start to give them a choice of all the other middle cards. And that 1 card gets picked, and while they're looking at that card, you take the top part and put it underneath, and you want them to put their card on what used to be the top of the deck. And then you put the rest, and you say, your card is lost in the middle of the deck, and I can't find it. But luckily, I have 2 helpers. And you spread through until you see the 2 cards, and then you take this top bit here, and you put it underneath. Now let me tell you a secret. This was the card that covered the 2 cards, and this is the chosen card. Because, if you remember, the person chose this card, and we put the top underneath. Here it is, with the 2 jokers. And then we had our friend put the card on top, and we buried it in the middle. So now it's lost. But if I go through and find my 2 helpers, the card is right here. And I pull it away, and so now the chosen card is going to go down, and I'm going to put the 2 helpers on the top. And I take those 2 helpers, and I put them down for a second, and what I need to do now is I need to get rid of this bottom card, because that's the one I want, and I want it on the bottom. So, first off, I say, sometimes, I tell a little story. Sometimes your card is on the top. Is that your card? And you know they're going to say no. You put that into the middle. Sometimes your card is on the bottom. And you show them the bottom. Say, is that your card? They're going to say no. Their card is actually the next one underneath. But they don't need to know that yet. So, you can't do this because they're going to see it. So you tilt it down. And you slide that bottom card out. You say, and it wasn't that one, was it? And that one goes in the middle. Now you don't want to show, because now their card is the bottom card. So I put one card on the top, and I square it up, but I put it face up, so we can still see the joker. And I put the other card on the bottom, but I leave it sticking out a little bit. And what that does is it means that there's their part of their card underneath here. And when I put my fingers underneath to hold the deck, part of my finger is touching their card, and part of my finger is touching the bottom joker. So if I just let these slide out of my hand, these three cards are going to stick to my fingers, and then you can say, and there's your card between the two jokers. If you need to rewind this to go over that instruction again, that makes good sense. But in a quick nutshell, two jokers upside down on the top, one card hiding them. Somebody chooses a card, it gets put on the top and cut to the middle. We go through and find our two helpers. The helpers go on top. Their card is second from the bottom. We tell the story of, it's not the top card, is it? And it's not the bottom card, is it? And we put the bottom one in the middle, and now their card is the bottom one. One joker goes onto the top. The other joker goes onto the top with about an inch or so sticking out. You put your fingers, thumb on the top card, point your finger on their card, middle finger on the other joker, and then you can either drop them or do a little toss, and all the cards will slide out except for the three, and the chosen card is in the middle. Magic is what I say sometimes at the end of a trick, just in case anyone didn't realize it was magic. There is an old saying, pick a card, any card. And I'm going to let you in on a real magic secret. Sometimes you're not actually picking any card. You're picking the one I'd like you to pick. I know, surprising. Let's say, for instance, I wanted to read somebody's mind. Now, I could say, I'm going to pull cards down, and as I pull them down, I want you to say stop wherever you would like. And you're going to look at your card, so someone might say stop there, and then I'm going to show them this card. And then I would put it down. I would say, let's focus on our minds now. The Ten of Hearts. I know, amazing! Even if I could see it in the camera, it's still a good trick. But you don't need the camera to know what the card is. Here's the secret. Again, it's the old bottom card. So let's say we've got the Five of Clubs in the bottom. Watch what my fingers are doing. I'm taking my thumb and my pointer finger, and I'm grabbing a little bit of the top, and I'm pulling it out and off, and I drop it into my hand. And that leaves my fingers free to do more grabbing, and I pull a few cards off the top, and I drop them, and I pull a few cards off the top, and I drop them. Now, I'll be honest with you, this takes practice. But if you're watching TV or hanging out, you can have a deck of cards in your hand and just practice pinching just a few off the top and dropping them. So I'm holding them sort of like in a bit of a cage with these fingers. Off the top, dropped into the hand. Off the top, dropped into the hand. And when they say stop, you tilt this pile up. And for a few different reasons, people don't remember or realize this is the bottom card. First off, it's bold. Nobody would think that you would go, I'm just going to show you the bottom card. And because people wouldn't think that, they don't. The other thing is, you know when you say cut the cards, and then you look at this card, this shape of pulling and dropping creates a pile up here and a pile down here. And so people think that we've just lifted it like that. But in fact, I just show you the bottom card. And see the more cards that I pull off, still the queen down there on the bottom. No matter how many cards, still the queen. Little things that you might want to practice are only taking a few cards. Only a few cards. If you take too many, you'll run out too soon. So you're just taking a few little cards and dropping them. A few cards and dropping them. If you get all the way down, what you can do, because you still want this bottom card to be the one that you've remembered, you can put these ones back on top and say, I'll keep going. And so if the person doesn't say it quick enough, you just put the bottom card back on the bottom and keep going. So one thing that you can do is you can do mind reading. Another thing you could do is you could write down on a piece of paper the card that you've got on the bottom. Let's say I've got the 2 of diamonds on the bottom of the deck, so I know that that's the card that I'm going to show people. What if I had another 2 of diamonds from a different deck and I put it up my sleeve like that? You can't really see it. So now I'm going to pull from the top and I'm going to say, whenever you're ready, say stop. Look at this card. All right. Now I'm a gambling pro, and they say that everyone's got cards up their sleeves, but in fact, what was the card you were thinking of? The 2 of diamonds. The last trick I want to show you needs some queens and some jacks. So I'm going to find 2 red queens and 2 black jacks. Oh, I got 52 cards to get through. There's my 2 red queens. I've got 1 of my black jacks. Here's the other one. To do this trick, you need 2 red queens and 2 black jacks, and you put them back to back so that there is a queen with a jack on its back and a queen with a jack on its back. And I hold them and I say red inside, black outside. Red inside, black outside, but just like that, black on the inside, red on the outside. We'll do it again. Black on the inside, red on the outside, red on the inside, black on the outside. Here's the trick. When I hold these 2 cards, I've got my pointer finger and my thumb kind of near the top. And when I hold these 2 cards, I've got my pointer finger and my thumb kind of near the bottom. And when I bring them up to blow, the blow is kind of the trick, because it's the reason that you bring the cards together. And when I do this, I use these tips of the finger to grab this card over here, and I use these tips of the finger to grab this card over here. And when I pull them away, they actually trade places. We'll do that nice and slow. So you have to tell people, I've got the jacks on the inside, queens on the outside. Jacks on the inside, queens on the outside. But blow, queens on the inside, jacks on the outside. When you bring it up like this, you're going to go, and as you swing your hands down, this one drops a little bit, and this one raises. So this one drops a little bit, this one raises, and they sort of do like almost like a little circle. They go zhunk, back into position. Queens on the inside, jacks on the outside, jacks on the inside, queens on the outside. Well, I hope you enjoyed a little card magic. Don't forget, practicing is very important. Find yourself a mirror and practice the sliding the cards off the top and catching them. Practice the pinching and blowing. And when you can fool yourself in the mirror, then you're ready to show someone else. Thanks. Have a good day.